All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about Terence Crawford with the cryptic message. Has to be about the Errol Spence Jr. fight, and hopefully it is good news. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. We are in the welterweight division talking about one of my favorite subjects, which is Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. in the mega fight that we are all hoping we get to see. Terence Crawford took to Twitter today, put one of his cryptic lines in his Twitter feed, which I think hopefully, along with another tweet that somebody else released who was close to Errol Spence Jr., hopefully that means that his progress being made in this fight is going to take place. But before I get into that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are a longtime subscriber or a recent subscriber to the channel, thank you so much for your support in the live streams that we do every day and the videos that we do every day. If you're new to the channel, please accept my invitation to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when all the videos that we release, which we do on a daily basis. Okay, so we all know Terence Crawford, Errol Spence Jr., welterweight division. Errol is the WBA, WBO, and WBC, the WBA, and the IBF welterweight champion. Terence Bud Crawford is the undefeated WBO welterweight champion. And I should also say that Errol Spence Jr. is undefeated as well. And they are in a negotiation to make an undisputed fight for the welterweight championship of the world, and what is probably the best fight that can be made in boxing right now. It may not be the biggest fight that can be made in boxing right now, and that is a problem with it. That's more of a problem with the sport of boxing than anything else, but it is most definitely one of the best, if not the best actual fights that can be made in boxing. And the winner of that fight, in my opinion, would without a doubt be the top fighter in the sport of boxing. Not sure if the commercial accolades and all that are going to follow along with it, because it's a fight that's being made within the same viewer demographic, but definitely something we want to see. Terence Crawford went to his Twitter today and left this cryptic message, which a lot of boxers do. Errol does it, Gervonta Davis does it, Terence Crawford does it, where they leave a couple words out there, but you know what they're inviting you to think. And what Terence Crawford says was, "I just want to be great." And so what does that mean? Well, hopefully it means something along the lines of another tweet. Now, not going to tell you exactly who tweeted this out, but it is somebody that is closely connected to Errol Spence Jr.'s fight, to Errol Spence Jr.'s camp. And it says, "We're going to make this happen." So combination of two tweets have me looking optimistic, especially in the light of other information that had been coming out about the fight, which was that, that the only holdup for the fight between the fighters was financial. Now, where did this come from? Primarily, it came from Steven Espinoza, who is the president of Showtime, or the CEO. I'm not sure if he's president or the CEO of Showtime Sports, but he is the guy that is responsible for the boxing and the combat sports that take place on Showtime, the network that most likely would air a fight with Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford, right? And he said that that this fight was, more likely to be made than before, but that the only thing that they're having a difficulty with was making sure that people were realistic about the money being paid in the fight. He said that, is this a really big fight? Yes, it's a big fight. Is this a Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus Manny Pacquiao size fight? No, it is not. So will they be paying Floyd Mayweather type of money for the fight? No, we will not. And that is where we are, hoping that we can work that out and get that fight made. Now, there was also rumors that had come out that were close to from people, or word coming out from people that were close to the negotiation, that Terence Crawford had asked for a very large sum of money along in a guarantee and a healthy 50-50 portion of the pay-per-views, right? The guarantee was going to be a problem because I don't think Showtime, other than with Canelo Alvarez, they in and of themselves have been paying big guarantees to fights. But if Terence Crawford's saying, look, my only concern is that I want to be great, hopefully that means that they are working to some type of solution, financial solution, and that he would be willing to bend off of what the demands are rumored to be. Or maybe that rumor isn't correct. I have a suspicion, though, that the numbers that they said are close to being correct because Terence Crawford is used to getting very high guarantees. In his guarantee for at least what's been publicized for his last fight, which was Sean Porter, was upwards of $6 million, where Sean Porter got $4 million. To see that he would ask for more than twice that against Errol Spence Jr. in an undisputed fight that has a lot more, press and a lot more interest in it, just seems reasonable. However, Terence Crawford saying that he just wants to be great could be a sign that he is willing to to be flexible and do what's necessary to make the fight. Something that I think would be a good decision for Terence Crawford for a couple reasons. One, he has a chance to win that fight. It's a winnable fight for him. Now, I pick Errol Spence Jr. to win, but, I'm not so overwhelmingly convinced that Terence Crawford wouldn't be able to pull that fight out. It is a winnable fight for him. This is not a scenario where it is, Errol Spence Jr. versus Carlos Ocampo, right? Even with the Errol Spence Jr. Yordenis Ugas fight going into that, I was like, man, that's a winnable fight for Yordenis Ugas. I don't favor him to do it, but, it's a winnable fight. So in that particular situation, seems to me it makes sense for you to do that. And then he said he wants his next step to move up to fight for undisputed at 154. And hey, man, if he's able to do those two things, nobody can argue with that man's greatness. And, it should reflect into greater paydays down the line against fighters. It really should. The other side of it for Terence Crawford is, I don't know what else is going to be available for him other than the Errol Spence Jr. fight. Because as of right now, he doesn't fight. He does not have a promotional home. He's not fighting with Top Rank. He's not fighting with Matchroom, right? And those pretty much in the United States, at least, are the two major promotional outfits, right? Eddie Hearn, who puts on fights in the United States, said that he doesn't have any fights for him. Top Rank, he's actually in a lawsuit with Top Rank, so not sure what they have for him there. And then, any other fight, would have to take place with the PBC. And you never know what's going to happen if you run into a guy like Keith Thurman, and they're not going to pay him a ton of money for the Keith Thurman fight either. So, it's just going to be real interesting, but hopefully that's what it means. And also, that the person that from Errol Spence Jr.'s camp, again, who's readily available to anybody that looks on Twitter and knows what they're looking for, said, hey, man, we're going to make that happen. So, hopefully that's the case. More encouraged, but we're just going to keep track of it as it goes, man, because, that's just part of the sport of boxing, man, is the negotiations that take place to make the fights happen. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.